So there's an interesting story I found about the torture that was going on in Guantanamo Bay. Now, for those who do not know what Guantanamo Bay is, it's basically a Cuban prison the U.S. owns where there's no right to due process and no right from cruel and unusual punishment, so basically we can do whatever we want over there. Yeah, that's kind of a huge issue, but anyway, a recent report was given by a man who used to be in Guantanamo Bay named Abu Zababwe. Zababwe, I think. Now, I'd like to say he is definitely a terrorist, okay? However, I felt this one part was very, very interesting. The CIA documents depict a cooperative Zimbabwe who maintained throughout that he has no more information beyond what he shared initially with the FBI. The documents make frequent reference to his captor's desire to include a sense of hopelessness. So that's one thing they did, is that they made him feel hopeless. And limited human contact, and used things like, anal feeding, as they call it, which is basically, they take a giant tube, shove it up your butt, and put liquefied food in there. It basically comes down to rape. They limited natural lighting. They made it so people who went in there for medical reasons could only use hand signals. Just all this really odd stuff. But here's the scary part. This is the important part. Although the CIA didn't receive authorization to engage in torture until August, the Bush administration had already been discussing it months prior. The agency may have sensed which way the political winds were blowing and behaved in anticipation of formal authorization. So basically, that's a fancy way of saying the CIA was like, they're probably going to give us permission anyway. Might as well do it. No! That's not what you do! And the thing is, this proves one important thing, and that is, the CIA has always been corrupt. Okay, it's not like the CIA was just so perfect. You remember, the CIA is the same government agency that put Saddam Hussein in power. They trampled leader of Iraq, I forget what his name was, and put Saddam Hussein in power instead. And then it was like, oh, Saddam Hussein's a horrible dictator. Whoops. So it wasn't like the CIA was always perfect and then Bush and Cheney just came and corrupted them. No, the CIA was always evil. And this proves that they were willing to torture before they had federal permission. And there's so much more I could cover here. There's things like sleep deprivation. It's like denying someone sleep for 72 hours straight. Or playing loud music in an attempt to make them go insane, basically. But this is the scary part. The fact that torture doesn't work, I could talk about that. But the worst fact is, even if all of that weren't true, even if all of that was justified, they didn't even wait for permission before they did it. That is scary. Well, that's it. I'm Cifro Joe, and good night.